Irving Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
From Southwest Park is the Irving Girls Softball League, 14 and under here in spring softball here at Joe Taylor Field number 3. I'm John Nelson. Rob Willman is just about set here to begin tonight's contest. We have the Gators and the Lady Dragons. Gators are the home team. As we take a look from behind home out to center field, it rained about 10 minutes, maybe an hour ago, so it is still overcast, temperature in the low 70s. As we look out towards center field, home plate faces northwest here at Southwest Park. Gators just won a tournament at this very complex over the weekend. As they get set to take on the Lady Dragons, they will hit first. Gators in home green, and the batting order for the Lady Dragons: Serta, Castro, Almager, Salmarone, Santos, Phillips, Johnson, Cartwright, and Etherly. Sierra Colquitt is on the mound for the Gators. Cassidy Roark is her catcher, trying to dig out, smooth out a spot in front of the pitching slab, and we're just about set to go here at Joe Taylor Field, and here's Rob Willman.
All right, John, thank you very much. Sierra Colquitt, the starting pitcher. This girl has got a great fastball, finds it right down the pipe for a called strike. And if you caught our game last week on ICTN, there's a couple of teams just kind of learning the game, if you will, sharpening their skills, whereas the Gators, they're pretty sharp already. They got a really good team. And you're going to see an example of that, especially Colquitt. Boy, she's just rocking and firing, and strikes out the first batter. Daniela Serta goes down with the K. 40 feet away from the pitcher's mound to home plate, 60 feet on the bases. It's an hour and 15-minute timed game. We barely got about 2 innings and 1 run last week on ICTN.
Now, Colquitt has pitched 3 innings this year, has a couple of strikeouts.
Now she's got 3 now as Nita Castro steps up to the box. The left-handed hitting third baseman. Love the Lady Dragons uniforms. Last week blue was the theme. This week green is the underlying theme. Dark green for the Gators, and the Lady Dragons in that lime green. Another called strike as Sierra Colquitt throwing nothing but strikes to her battery mate Rourke behind the plate. That is tapped foul out away, and the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. They're 14 and under. Back in the heyday here at Irving, they had them pretty much separated every couple of years in the league, but as some of the teams and players go to select ball and move out, they decided to combine some of the age groups. Therefore, you have some younger players in there with some more mature players. But it's summer league. It's about learning the game and honing your skills. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out to Nita Castro here on the top of the first, and that is high and away. And Castro gets on board with the walk. As we've seen so many times in these City League games, whoever can get up to that 5-0 lead, it puts the pressure because there is a 5-run rule limit per inning. If you can get those 5 runs right off the bat, then you're playing the hand and forcing the hand of the opposition to play catch up and try to match you run for run. You keep a 5-run or more cushion, and then when that clock winds down, it does not enable the other team to come back.
Saw that last week in a game in which the Bulldogs won 11-5.
Alyssa Almager, the pitcher, the starting pitcher for the Dragons, is up there now. He swings and misses and goes down on strike. So there's 2 down. And Salmeron, the first baseman, wearing number 9 with the lime green socks, the white bat, and the batting helmet with all sorts of designs on it. Looks at that one for a ball on the outside corner. High school ball just finished about a week ago. So we at ICTN, we go to the city leagues. Hopefully sometimes down the near future, we'll try to hit up the boys baseball league. It's a crapshoot because of the weather. You never know how that tournament is going to wind up to where we can get them in the calendar, but hopefully we'll be able to shoot the 2 age group championship games like we've done in the past.
Weather can also play havoc with your practice time.
Yeah, there's a well-hit ball to left. The left fielder over Garcia one-hands it. And the inning is over. So Sierra Colquitt gives up a walk, and that's it as we head to the bottom of the first inning. And for us, and for what we see mostly on these summer league games, that, my friends, was a fast half inning of play.
I like the way that Angela moved as soon as the ball left the bat, headed towards the left field line, and able to get there in plenty of time. But I'm like you, Rob. I like the way that Colquitt started, gets the ball, and wastes no time and delivers it home and gets this thing underway. Gators will have Bethany Garcia, Cassidy Roark, and Deja Colquitt, 1, 2, 3. Marissa Spence will bat cleanup. Mandy Pearson at shortstop will hit 5th. And then Sierra Colquitt, the pitcher. Madison Powell in center field. Tiffany Thompson will play first base. Angela Garcia in left field. They'll bat 11. Sarah Ferguson and Samantha Gonzalez round out the hitting order. Alyssa Almager is in the circle tonight for the Lady Dragons.
She will have her hands full as the Gators pack a pretty good punch offensively. And if she does get it over the plate, she'll have to have her defensive players back her up accordingly. Phillips is in right, Etherly in center, Johnson in left. Castro at third base, Serta at short, the other Castro at second, Salmeron at first. Santos is catching, as you take a look at the first baseman there, Salmeron. And Almager is your starting pitcher, facing Carneca, Rourke, and Colquitt. Deja Colquitt, the right fielder. The Colquitt sisters. Obviously, the Girls Softball League have not adopted the 3-minute between inning rule as they have in Major League Baseball.
It's loose. 3 minutes bleeds into 4.5. They start, at the ballpark now. Well, all of Major League Baseball, as soon as that last out is recorded, there's a time clock in center field. It's 2:25, 2 minutes and 25 seconds between each half inning.
I'm digging it.
And some of these teams have started like 20 and 25 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
So you see that play clock out in center field winding down to 40 seconds. That throw to second base is about completed.
This goes to show you the pitchers did not need all of that time to warm up like they did in the past. We're a myth buster. Did you know that?
And coming out of the bullpen, they're a little bit quicker coming out of the pen now.
All right. Carnica will lead things off wearing number 5, Bethany, the second baseman. Got the red batting gloves on. Just looking for that one pitch to hit. Inside and away. Completely different stature for the young lady Almager doing the tossing for the Lady Dragons. Her teammate a little taller, a little bigger. The bottom line on this level is You don't have to throw it hard, you just have to get it over the plate.
That's the key, or anything close.
Half the battle, and now it's 3-0 very quickly to the second baseman for the Gators. Trista Spence, the head coach. And it's hit right up the middle. And a base hit, and gets past the center fielder, Etherly. She will give chase. Carneco will round second. She's going to try to stretch this into a triple, maybe go all the way home. Why not?
She does. A trip around the bases.
Comes back to touch home plate just to make sure. And it's a 1-0 ball game.
Oh, she is quick. Ball headed right towards center field, and Ricky Etherly not able to make a clean pickup. By that time, Garcia was halfway to second base. Just takes a bounce over the glove of Etherly. Never touched it. And Garcia on her way to third. Throw comes in and didn't even hesitate to look back. A triple and an E as she scores. Bethany Garcia. Or Garnica, sorry.
So we go to Rourke now. And Cassidy steps up, trying to do like her teammate and just make contact. Not choking up too much on that bright yellow bat. Infield straight away, a little breeze, feels good tonight. A little dark blue out in left center field. We had a little rain before this ball game. Cooled things off a little bit, except for the cameramen, and they were like, what the heck?
They didn't waste any time. They were ready.
Yeah.
Garnica's now scored 4 runs this year.
It's a great leadoff batter. Those are great stats you want to see with your leadoff hitter. And it's Rourke stepping in. Deja Colquitt, the right fielder, will be on deck. Don't forget, 5 runs an inning is your limit. And the starting pitcher a little more methodical now, Almager. And that is ball 4. Number 95. Boy, you don't see that very often. Out on the diamond, she's going to try to stretch this to 2, and she does. As the walk got away from the catcher, then the pitcher, and talk about an aggressive team on the bases. Trista Spence has her girls running from the get-go.
She draws the throw and comes out ahead, safe all the way.
Deja Colquitt now up. She's going to fake the bunt and almost lay it down. It fouls back.
Just got underneath it.
Not afraid to run, not afraid to move the runners over. Good fundamental softball. 2 separate socks by Colquitt. You look there, you kind of have the green and the dark. A fashion statement at Southwest Park. Runner goes to third. Throw is late. Castro unable to put the tag on there. So Cassidy's at third with nobody out. Marissa Spence, the cleanup hitter, on deck, waiting her turn. Again, they're going to try to bunt it. It bounces to the catcher. Now here comes the runner at third, York, saying, come on, throw it my way, throw it my way. Pretty much claps at her, just antagonizing her to throw it wild and let me run in.
Too close in which to draw a throw and not enough room to run her down.
Well, just, run her back's the best thing to do. Nice. And it goes foul, though. Making contact was Colquitt, but the ball just moved to the other side of the foul line, and thus Rourke has to go back to third, and Colquitt with a 2-2 count now.
Well, the Lady Dragons looks like a video game out there. That kind of a neon look now with the lime green and the lights on.
A little reflection. Popped up infield. 3 players going for it. No one can get it. A run scores as Castro came in from third. The base runner, Colquitt, goes to second because no one was covering second. So it's now a 2-0 ball game. Colquitt got the single, went to second when no one was there. Marissa Spence comes up next.
Castro trying to reach out for it. The third baseman not able to get to it. About 2 feet in front of her to be a hit for Colquitt. Couple of hits this inning.
And now Marissa Spence with the runner in scoring position. No one out. A lot of contact being made in this inning. Runner moving, the throw to third. Umpire has to dodge it. Johnson comes up from left field. Pretty good arm. 2 players go for it at home, but Colquitt is in to score. And it's a 3-0 ball game. And see, Marissa, you should have been swinging at that last pitch so you could get an RBI.
You know, you kind of have to feel sorry for Ethley out in center field. That ball hit up the middle off the bat of Garnica and just took a bad hop over the glove, and Bethany all the way around to score.
Spence dodges that one as it bounces to her left. The younger Lady Dragon team. A lot of these girls first year that they've played. Learning the game. Each team, they could just use one good pitcher. That has popped up and hits the top of the fence. Behind home plate foul. Spence will get another shot at it. And we've got some light sprinkles, according to the crew, coming back out on the field.
Wind out of the southwest blowing straight out to center field. Damp, overcast night here on May 5th.
That's a little high. Did you celebrate Cinco de Mayo today?
The night before.
Did you? That's your time.
It was the 4th be with us. So. Yeah, I did it on the 4th.
Watch a Star Trek marathon or something? Star Wars
I didn't know
marathon?
anything about that. May the 4th be with you until like ABC ran a story on it.
That the 4th be with you?
Yeah.
Rounder past Castro. Left fielder Johnson has to give chase. Here comes Spence, and very, very lucky to get to second base.
Yeah. Johnson out and left, able to get it towards the infield. Serta almost had a play at second.
Let's see, I think that last softball is covered in mud. And what happens? They throw it in, and it gets past the pitcher, and it rolls in the dirt. But, yeah, she is very fortunate that Spence didn't get caught at second. So she's at second. It's 3-0, nobody out. Peterson, who was going to start the game at second, and because one of the players did not make it, the shortstop didn't make it, she was moved too short. Pretty close at third. Boy, Spence living on the edge, isn't she?
Just dodging a tag.
So Mandy now with an opportunity to bring a run in, make contact. There's nobody out. Just make contact. Infield to the left side is in. Here comes Spence, and it was close. She got the left leg underneath the catcher. The home plate umpire had to wait just a minute to see if the runner was blocked at home. Watch again, John.
That was close. Flor Salmeron, the first baseman, covering. There's the dirt. There's the tag on the right knee, but the left foot
wrapped
contact.
around. Yeah, if it wasn't for that, she would have been blocked at the plate. Base hit anyway. Etherly tries to keep it in front of her, but you know they're not going to stop for a single. It's not in their DNA. So
that's the 4th hit of the inning.
So Mandy down at second. And the pitcher, Sierra Colquitt, now steps in. Umpire says, let's get another softball. And once again, he gets past the pitcher and rolls in the dirt.
You know, the weather, the way it's been, Rod, kind of plays havoc with some of the practices. And I know when I played ball, you were probably the same mode. You know, your mom drove you to practice, and all you wanted to do was to play the game when it came Thursday or Saturday night. You didn't want any kind of weather delay because you missed some practice time anyway, but all you wanted to do was just get in 6 innings and play.
It seemed like we played on Tuesdays and Thursdays for some reason.
Ours were Wednesday, Saturdays.
Here goes Peterson to third. Again, it's a 5-run limit. And the Gators, with no outs, are almost guaranteed to get that 5th run. It's just a matter of whether Peterson will steal home or Colquitt will make contact and bring the runner in. Here comes the runner from third. Yeah, that's 5 runs. And that, my friends, is 1 inning of softball.
5 runs as the Gators send 5 girls to the plate. Now there's productivity.
Making the most, isn't it?
5 and 5. Sierra Colquitt now with a 5-run lead as we go to the top half of inning number 2.
Last week, Mansfield's Bailey Baldwin was the Player of the Week in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in ladies softball in high school. She was 3 for 5 with a double, 2 home runs, scored 3, knocked in 4, as her team defeated LD Bell in the first-round playoff game in 6A, Class 6A. Did you know, honorable mention, Laken Wolever of the MacArthur Cardinals, who had 2 wins, pitched 15 innings, hit .500, and had 3 RBIs in that same time period.
We saw her twice this spring.
Yes, we did, and we saw her with the clutch hit against Nimitz, too, late in the ball game, opening up a really tight ball game between those 2 teams.
Did you ever ride your bike to practice and put your glove?
Oh, yeah, on the handlebars? Yeah.
And if you had a favorite bat, you'd have the bat straddle the handlebars.
Yeah, crossways.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, those were the days. About 50 minutes left in this ball game on the clock. I think perhaps maybe the rain will stay away.
I would have liked to have played under the lights as good as these.
Are you telling me?
That's the biggest difference. Are
you telling me the lights were not up to standards?
When they went out, they never replaced them. And by the end of the season, it was pretty tough.
You weren't at Cottonwood Park growing up. We had good lights. All right, Kara Santos leading things off here in the top of the second for the Lady Dragons. Terry McMorris's bunch, the head coach for the Lady Dragons, they got their work cut out for them. Already in a hole down 5-0. Swung on and missed. You talk about the lights. Had a high school friend that was drafted by the Seattle Mariners. Played shortstop. He told me, he said, Rob, because you wouldn't believe rookie league, some of these fields, our high school field was better than what we're playing in. There's a base hit to left field, right over the shortstop, Peterson. And Santos with the base hit.
First hit of the game for the Lady Dragons as Mandy Pearson was closing in. Just went over her glove out into left center field. And there's another look at it. Nice pitch and a nice swing. And the end result is a base hit for Santos.
Olivia Phillips, the right fielder, will now step in.
Now the Cape Cod League has some interesting fields and some interesting lighting back east.
Well, does everybody park their car down the first and
Pretty
third
much.
baseline?
Pretty much. It's truly a neighborhood league with the players staying in the houses and residents of wherever you're, Vermont, Massachusetts, some of the other places in the Cape Cod League.
I've heard of select teams do that. There's a throw from Rourke to Carneca, the second baseman, just one of those keep you honest throws. I've seen a lot of select teams do that in boys baseball in the summer. Travel and to host parents. We'll keep 1 or 2. There's a strikeout against Phillips. Called strike, 1 down, strikeout 1 down. And Rachel Johnson, the left fielder.
And if that 1 or 2 makes it big, you can say,
yeah,
here's the room in which he stayed.
That's a ball low. Colquitt with 2 strikeouts in the first. She already has 1 here in the second. Her team with a comfortable 5-0 lead. That's a nice pitch there, although, yes, called strike. Home plate umpire with a slow call.
Well, it looks like that the pitching position is hers all the way.
Oh, totally. Swung on and foul tipped.
Ride her arm a long way this year.
Colquitt ahead on the count. And swung on and missed. And another strikeout as Rachel Johnson goes down on strikes, and that'll bring up Jocelyn Castro, the second baseman.
Well, the infielders love a pitcher that works quick, and so do the outfielders.
Carneca, the second baseman, still playing in at second. Called strike to Castro.
She's almost, well, she cuts the ball off. Now, Roark has thrown to her on a couple of times. She cuts it off as the runner tries to take second. So that's by design.
It's like, throw it here, I'll get it. I'll get the runner faster. You don't have to throw as far. Physics. Fouled off. Jocelyn hanging in there. Both swings a little late, but making contact. That's good. Not a very wide stance in the box, though. And the next pitch is going to be called strike 3, and that is the inning. So 3 straight strikeouts by Colquitt after Kara Santos starts the inning with a base hit. And we have finished an inning and a half of ball, and it's 5-0 in favor of the Gators with about 45 minutes or so left in this one.
Cartwright tried to hold up, but just couldn't do it in time, and another strikeout as Colquitt now has collected 5 strikeouts. There's action on the other diamond behind us. Games breaking out all over the place. This is a great view. You can walk behind you and see every game. 4 fields here at this complex, the Marianne Hill Complex, dedicated in 1998. She, the co-founder of the IGSL back in 1960.
Talking about games, let's talk about all the sporting events that happened this year in the Irving Independent School District, and the Bob Berry All Sports Award going to the team that racked up the most points with the most wins and titles and playoff berths, and it was close. MacArthur wins it with 4 points over Nimitz. Nimitz really surprised me this year in basketball. MacArthur, though, solid in every sport, and they come out on top 46-42.
I really enjoyed the playoffs this year in basketball, both girls and boys. ICTN all over the place in the playoffs. I kind of enjoyed that afternoon game right after New Year's at Nimitz.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
Yeah, it was. Skyline, the team, against the Lady Vikings. Skyline making a deep run all the way to the finals this year.
They were strong defensively. That was their forte. We could see that in the game that we did, that you're not going to score a lot of points against them. All right, pitcher versus pitcher. Sierra was up that last inning when Peterson came in to score on a pass ball at home. So she gets a fresh set of pitches, and the first one comes right at her and kind of rolls up to her for ball 1. Won't be too long before the college softball and college baseball. They're pretty much starting to get into their postseason pretty quick. I know Division III, because one of my co-workers' grandson plays at Centenary, and
oh yeah, in Shreveport. Yeah,
they had their conference tournament for postseason this weekend, so the other schools can't be too far behind.
Is their enrollment still around 2,000 or so?
Pretty much. They dropped a Division III.
Right. The gents.
The gents. So they're a non-scholarship team per se. They won the conference a year ago, shared it, couldn't go to postseason because they still had some scholarship players on the roster. This year, however, they were clear to go. They won the conference. They go up in the tournament, and they run into Trinity out of San Antonio, ranked number 18 in the country, and lost 2 straight in the finals to end their season. As Colquitt goes down to first with the walk. And that'll bring up number 13, Madison Powell, her first time at the plate, wearing lucky 13.
Shows no fear.
None whatsoever. Means she's not superstitious. The ball gets away from Gallagher, and it's a pretty easy steal for Colquitt down to second base.
Steve Yeager wasn't superstitious when he asked for number 13 when he played for the Dodgers.
No. Dan Marino. A-Rod. Who? Who?
That Yankee sometimes DH / infielder now.
Colquitt going to third, gets there just in the nick of time. Nice little arm throw, meanwhile, by Santos behind home.
The Centenary Gents. Can you name Centenary's most famous basketball player?
Did he go on to play baseball?
Basketball.
Well, I thought maybe
no, strictly.
Strictly, okay.
The Chief, Robert Parrish.
Parrish went to Centenary.
Played at the Gold Dome there on campus. Man, he was a force for years with the Celtics.
Boy, how does someone like Robert Parrish's caliber, not to knock Centenary, but how does he end
Right.
up in Centenary? You know, you'd think, well, if he's from the area, La Tech perhaps. Carl Malone went there, or the mailman. Whoop, here we go. Throw back to the pitcher, and coming right in is Colquitt. And going to second base, they may have her. And the tag, and yes, they do. This time it works, and it backfires as Powell drew the walk and just kept on trucking to second. And they threw down at the base covering, and this time they get her. They had her by a long shot, John.
Yeah, they did. This was Colquitt's move all the way. She scores from third, and Powell not even looking back, and now in no man's land, and the tag behind the right shoulder.
You know, if the coaches review the tape, they may say, you cut that a little wide going around first.
Yeah.
Cut it a little sharper next time. The lefty, Tiffany Thompson, the first baseman. The lefty stepping in with nobody on. Slaps it off the glove of Castro at second. Phillips, the right fielder, is up with it, and then she's deciding, where do I throw it? She's still deciding.
There it is, sends it into the shortstop.
And Thompson gets the base hit, so it's Angela Garcia, the left fielder's turn. About 40 minutes left on the clock with a 6-0 Gator lead. Bottom of inning number 2. Innings going by just a little quicker than they did last week. We had a lot of walks. And down at second now is Thompson. Again, just one out, one run across the plate. In the bottom of inning number 2. At Southwest Park, Joe Taylor Field, number 3. With the throw down to third, and it gets over the glove of Castro. Thompson's going to try to stretch this in, and she does because the catcher dropped it. And it's now 7-0 Gators.
Robert Parrish goes to Centenary, but you got to wonder, Scotty Pearson, Little Central Arkansas. That's where he played college ball. The Bears of Central Arkansas.
The Bears. Are there Bears in Central Arkansas?
In the Ozarks.
Are there? Garcia looks at that one for a ball. Sarah Ferguson. on deck.
Doing double duty
Yes.
with the commoners.
Did she leave security behind? That's a good pitch. And Angela waited on it patiently, but comes up empty. Count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Really taking her time. Throws a little balloon shot up there. Still hard for me not to get used to the fact the swimming pool is no longer over the right field fence. City filled that in a few years ago, cost-saving measures, and about this time in the summer you'd see the kids out there in the pool. Now I think it's just like a water park. They may have a few items that sprinkle water on you. And that is ball 4. So Garcia goes to first.
Here's Royalty.
Here's Sarah. And you know they've got 3 more runs to go before the inning is over. Might get them with only 1 out. They are in the bottom third of the order. That rolls to the catcher. Garcia goes down to second rather quickly. Now she's ready to go to third as that gets away from the infielders.
Or stop.
Yeah, she should keep on going.
He who hesitates will be lost.
And he who doesn't will score. The outfielders for the Dragons tonight just a little hesitant on where to throw the ball once they get it. But that's the learning curve. That's why you play Summer League and get the games under your belt. Garcia comes in to score on the pass ball. It's now 8-0.
But I like the way that Floor, the first baseman, shot right down the first base line, took charge, and was waiting for the lob throw at home.
Just think of all the RBIs these batters could get if they would just, the runner at third would just wait long enough. Because we've seen a few times they get a base hit right after the runner comes in to score.
Man, you'd use that for contract leverage, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Say, I want the pink helmet next year. I don't want the black one or the blue one.
Here's the productivity.
Yep, here's the sheet. All right, Ferguson draws a walk. That is the 4th walk given up by Almaguer here in the bottom of the 2nd. And Samantha Gonzalez will finish out the batting order here in the 2nd for the Gators with just 1 out. Inside, runner moves. Ferguson goes down rather easily to second base. Yeah, deep center, a little dark on this field. You talk about the lights. Otherwise, right and left field, well lit.
220 to dead center field.
Ferguson thought about running and then held up. The catcher throws down to third anyway. Luckily, Johnson is there to back things up and left as it got away from Castro.
Going to make a throw like that, make it on the fly, not have the third baseman work. At least give her a good throw.
Going down to third, Ferguson. Santos has been busy behind the plate tonight.
Most catchers are in this league.
They are.
Get a workout. Came in here to lose a couple of pounds and had a 5-inning back and forth trip to the plate.
Yeah. Will Ferguson be the next one to score? Takes a few steps, is daring Santos to throw it down there.
Well, you know, the home plate umpire has a tough task in this league, just avoiding some of these balls, getting away from them and the batter, and make sure that they don't block the base pass to home and not cause any kind of interference.
Swung on and missed. To me, if I was a home plate umpire, the greatest thing that I would have to fight is calling a strike. You know that it's not one, but it's close enough to call one, because, you know, a lot of times you don't get that opportunity. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. Bounces outside. She will go to first.
That was an easy call.
Yeah, I didn't have to second guess that one. So we go to the top of the order, and Gonzalez, she just keeps on trucking down to second. So now you've got the last 2 runners that could score to end this inning on base in scoring position with Garnecka up. Garnecka, she singled her first time up. Got another one to hit and pounds it into left field. That will end the inning, as Ferguson scores number 9 and Gonzalez scores number 10. And Garnecka says, "Can I come on in home?"
Takes the grand tour.
I don't think she can get it anyway.
No.
The 10 runs came across. Now, when I played ball, you could do that. Whatever runners were on, they would let you have it until the inning was over. So, we have finished 2 innings of girls softball. And right now, the Gators in control and in command with a 10-0 lead. We'll be back with more in a moment. Stay with us. And welcome back to Southwest Park, Joe Taylor Field number 3, where it's the Lady Dragons taking on the Gators. And the Gators with a commanding 10-0 lead as you look at Sierra Colquitt, waiting for Cartwright to step up, followed by Etherly, and then back to the top of the order in Serta. Not as many numbers on this Lady Dragon team. In fact, they just have 1 extra person to substitute, as Cartwright looks at that one or swings at that one for a strike here. In third, 5 runs in each inning for the Gators. The Dragons trying to get on the scoreboard and get the goose egg off before time runs out. The thing is that what we normally see in these games is you'll see like an 8-5 game or a 9-6, 9-5 game, and you get about 2 innings in, and the time is called because so many runs have scored. Well, because the Gators have done so well, and the pitching by Sierra Colquitt has been so effective in the first 2, you still have more time on the clock because those half innings have gone by so quickly.
Marissa Spence down the line at third, trying to cut off a little bit of distance. Should have come her way.
The batting title in the Metroplex went to Trent Clark in boys baseball out of Richland. He batted .541.
I think he's going to Tech.
Josh Reagan from Irving Nimitz as Cartwright goes down on strikes. Josh Reagan was just behind him at .532. And kind of an unsung hero or under the radar was Noah Salinas for Irving High with .469. He was number 10 in the top 10. Had a couple of North Crowley guys up there as well. And Jesuit had 2, which doesn't surprise me at all since such a solid team.
North Crowley finishing second behind Arlington Martin in the district this year.
Swung on and missed. Did some games or went to see some games out of North Crowley back when they were a lower classification in the same class as Midlothian a few years ago. Swung on and missed by Etherly, the center fielder, and that is 2 down.
7 strikeouts for Sierra. Mowing them down here.
Boy, talk about a city that grew overnight. I mean, when it was just Crowley, it was just a quiet little country town, and then North Crowley comes into play, and they built those subdivisions, and the town just exploded in population. Daniela Serta, the shortstop, as we go back to the top of the order here in the third. Still a little breezy. It calmed down there for a while when the rains came. She affects the bunt and it goes back.
Hey, it's sweater weather.
Yeah, almost. The winds have kicked back up a little bit. Two outs. Next pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. And once again, Colquitt strikes out the side as we go to the bottom of the third. Now, as we head there, quite possible that the Gators could use up all the time here and just send us home, as we've got about 25 minutes. We may play another inning. It's according to how fast it goes.
Well, our first Lance Brown Boys Player of the Year award, we selected not one, but 2 Scotts, as in Nimitz's Michael and Delonte. Scott twins were all-district football players for the Vikings last fall and really helped them in the playoffs. Michael led the team in sacks. Here's one of them, had 7, caught 22 passes as a receiver for close to 300 yards and 5 touchdowns. There's one grabbed in the end zone. Delonte was first on the team with 12 tackles for losses and second in total tackles. Just an all-around good football player he was. Now, changing sports on the hard court, Michael named the Defensive Player of the Year in district and averaged 8 points and 7 boards a game. Delonte, also a force inside, poured in over 8 points a game, collected nearly 9 rebounds a contest. Congratulations to Michael and Delonte Scott, our boys co-players of the year. The Scott twins will move on to the Hilltop this fall to play for the SMU Mustangs.
You know, they may get a lot of playing time right off the bat at SMU.
Oh, a new coach has to like what he's getting.
I bet they'll be working on the weights this summer.
That is going to be a hurry-up offense, what they ran at Clemson. And on the defensive side of the ball, they have to be ready for just about anything at SMU this year. But it's going to be more of an up-tempo offensive and defensive-minded team.
Well, we go to the top of inning number 3. And the top of the order with Karnicka standing tall. More of a timing issue here. She just plops that right to the shortstop. Serta not in time. She gets on. She's going to go down to second, gets past the shortstop. Here she goes to third. The throw to Castro, no, they just decide to hold on to it, and Johnson gets it back into play. So Karnicka on a single stretches it to a triple. Colquitt with the base hit, and Rourke comes in to score. That was Rourke that had the base hit.
Colquitt not stopping at second, and the pitcher out of the corner of her eye just locates her and Castro takes a throw at third, but in there is Dacia.
$11-0. Watch it again. Waits for it.
Right under the glove of Nidra Castro and by Serta. Picked up by Rachel Johnson. And another runner and another runner to worry about for Almaguer.
So this will be Spence coming up. Remember Spence, she waited and finally got that base hit. Made the pitcher, Almaguer, throw a lot of pitches back in the first.
Now, speaking of SMU football, Rob, what are the chances of the Mustangs? Well, they play Connecticut anyway in their conference, but playing against a team in which the Cowboys selected their defensive back as the #1 draft choice. You never know what league and what connections you have.
Right. Then you think about free agents and Cole Beasley. Look at what he's done for Dallas. Here's a guy that almost did quit for a day. We talked him back, and now he just signed a $1 million deal this offseason.
Kickoff returner, punt returner, can do it all.
There's a throw back to the pitcher, and coming in to score is Colquitt. And it's 12-0. They're scoring runs too fast, John.
What's the time breakdown now? Yeah, they're rounding the bases and scoring
in
quick.
record time, aren't they? Yeah, there's still about 20 minutes to go. So at this rate, we'll have a fourth inning. Slow roller to third, and she runs that one out. So she's on board. Mandy Peterson now up.
The ball hugged the line. Probably was going to stay fair all the way. Castro picked it up just about a foot off the line in fair territory.
Saw Peterson last time do that, where she tried to lay down the bunt. Obviously, she must have not tipped that one because they allowed Spence to go down to second.
Came close to hitting it or making contact.
That's that left foot. Look at her. See her left foot up on her toe. So now she's down on the count 0-2. Yeah, Spence goes to third. A little smile on her face. She goes, I was really wanting to tee off on that last pitch.
Now, there is a 15-run rule after 3.
Well, true. Yep, we could do the 15-run rule. With 2 runs already across, no one out, a runner at third, it could be a 15-run rule after 3 innings. She does like the front of the box, though, doesn't she? Look at that stance right there. And
ready to swing away.
Up on her toe. Past Santos. Spence scores 13-0.
Couple of hits and an error this inning.
So the bases are empty for Peterson. Tough night for Almaguer and her teammates. One's been around a while and has a really solid core. The other just starting to learn the game, if you will. And you get that. You get those type of games.
Almaguer probably doesn't weigh 100 pounds, and her glove almost hides her front. Look how huge that is.
She don't want anybody to see how she's holding the ball, how she's holding the laces. Ooh, there's a nice hit to left. Johnson snow cones and scoops it up. And Peterson is held to just a long single.
This is an aggressive swinging team. 6 hits tonight.
God, it seems like it should be more.
5, 6, 7. I beg your pardon. That's 8.
Okay.
8 singles.
8 singles with a bunch of walks in between, and that spells runs for the Gators. Peterson down to second.
The top 3 hitters tonight have produced 6 hits and 5 runs.
That's productive. That's what you want to get out of the top of your order. Colquitt pops one into right center. No one really saw it. The right fielder didn't even move.
Kind of froze.
Yep. Here's run 14, and this could be run 15 as it rolls to third, and she's going to try to make it. And it is run 15.
Colquitt dumping one in short right center field, and Etherly couldn't get to it, and Phillips just kind of froze and stays in her spot as Colquitt, who walked and scored a run in the second inning, just continues to touch every base. Almost tripped over Castro there, but the ball just kind of stayed away from every glove, and that's it. The 5 runs and the 15-run rule here in the third.
Stand tall and touch them all as the Gators run the table on the Lady Dragons tonight. And it's just a hitting exhibition by a team that's a little far superior, a little ahead of the game, if you will. And Sierra Colquitt turned into a really good pitching performance tonight, not allowing a run to come across the plate. And in fact, she only gave up just 1 base hit in all. So that's going to do it from Southwest Park, field number 3, the final. The Gators 15, the Lady Dragons 0. For John Nelson, I'm Rob Willman. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time on the ICTN Game of the Week.
Irving Game of the Week has been brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning,